California Governor Gavin Newsom asked a federal court to block President Trump from using National Guard soldiers and Marines for immigration enforcement in Los Angeles. Images today of federal troops conducting training drills on the outskirts of the city. President Trump deployed 4,000 National Guard troops and 700 Marines against the wishes of the governor and Los Angeles mayor. It is still not clear what role the majority of these troops will serve as protests continue against ICE operations. Fox's Connor Hansen has the latest on the protests.
Thousands took to the streets in Los Angeles after another day of protests against immigration raids. Several were arrested after clashing with police. The Pentagon says it's spending $134 million to deploy thousands of National Guardsmen and 700 U.S. Marines training to operate in a domestic setting. It comes as President Trump visits soldiers at Fort Bragg for the 250th anniversary of the Army.
It would have been bad. Last night they had total control. If we didn't have the military in there, the National Guard, and then we also sent in some Marines, we had some bad people.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth took tough questions on Capitol Hill about the deployment.
We stated very publicly that it's 60 days. We're here to maintain the peace on behalf of law enforcement officers in Los Angeles, which Gavin Newsom won't do.
Governor Newsom and other California leaders say the troops are not needed and blame the Trump administration for causing the unrest.
If we want to look at the cause of what is happening here, I take it back to raids that took place on Friday and the uncertainty and the fear.
Protests in other cities like Dallas and New York are forcing other mayors to consider how they would react.
If there's ever a need to go beyond the manpower that we have, there's other ways you do it before you have to come with the look of a military operation.
President Trump says he hasn't ruled out using the Insurrection Act, which would allow troops to go beyond just protecting property. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox 4 News.
Dallas police say one person was arrested in last night's anti-ICE protest in West Dallas. 27-year-old Gerardo Velasquez is accused of assault on a public servant and attempting to take a weapon from an officer. During the demonstration last night, police could be seen arresting someone. Video also appears to show a fight with another protester not long after the arrest. Dallas Police Chief Daniel Como says officers were hit with water bottles and fireworks. Como confirmed no officers were injured in last night's protest. In Austin, police also gave an update on their response to anti-ICE protests held last night. A demonstration was held outside the Texas Capitol and moved to a federal building a couple of blocks away. Officials say more than a dozen people were arrested. Demonstrators threw scooters and dragged cones and signs into the streets. Crowds were eventually dispersed by tear gas. The crowds cleared by about 11 p.m.